Welcome to Made for More podcast, where faith and personal growth converge. I'm Julia, and I'm honored to guide you on a journey of empowerment and transformation alongside our occasional co-host, Omar. We are passionate believers and advocates for unlocking your God-given full potential. Join us as we explore the intersection of faith, life, business, and relationships, igniting a fire within to embrace the truth that your life is destined for greatness. Together, we'll uncover strategies, insights, and stories that inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. Get ready to embark on a fulfilling quest towards personal and professional fulfillment, guided by faith and the unwavering belief that you, my friend, are made for more. All right, you guys, we are back. Oh my goodness. I know it's been a minute. It has been a minute, but I could not let the day go by and not drop season 3. Can y'all believe it? How many of you guys are my OGs and you've been with me since the beginning, like since season 1? And if you are new and you have not been in it since season 1, it's okay. I still love you like you've been with me since the beginning, but just go on and go back to season 1 and go back to episode 1, season 1 and play it back, okay? And then you'll feel like an OG and I will feel like you're an OG. But I'm so excited to drop today, literally episode 1 of season 3. And I would have been remiss if I did not do it today because so far, the last 2 years, I dropped the first episode of the new year and the new season on the actual New Year day. I launched Julia Keeps It Real on January 1st, 2020 during COVID time. Or I guess it was 2021, actually. It was 2021. And then season 2, 2022. And so here we are, season 3, 2023. So I'm so excited to be here. I have got some crazy cool lineups for you guys this year. This year on season 3, it is going to be a blend, a little bit of me, a little bit of guest speakers again. And when I tell y'all, I've already I started thinking who do I want to be on the podcast this year? I'm bringing some people on that you're going to be like, ooh, I need to hear from that person. How do they do this and how do they do that? And it's really cool whenever you have some cool connections, and why not utilize that, right? And then I'll just be honest with you guys too. I also want to bring on even maybe some family, because I want this to be an everlasting podcast and a legacy and something to look back on later on, whether I'm alive or my family's life, whoever, and we could play it back and it's a legacy. So I want to bring that on too and kind of get some perspective and some insight and some things on that. So I'll make sure it's valuable for you, but it'd be cool to kind of be able to have that moment that we can play back. So if you've been thinking about starting a podcast, just do it. Just do it. That actually is probably going to be an episode from people that are like, Julia, how did you start a podcast? Give me the straight and narrow, straightforward. Y'all know I'm a straight shooter and I like to save you time. So that will probably be a podcast episode. So look for that at some point this year. So I could kind of give you some tips, but really the first real tip, y'all, is just do it. Literally go to the YouTube. How do you start a podcast? That's literally what I did. And I went from there. And I do not do anything fancy. I use Zoom. I use Facebook Lives. I use my own Facebook groups to download things, my own videos. And I just download the videos and I upload the audio. So it's literally that simple. Okay? It's that simple. All right. Thank you guys for the following things. I have had some new reviews come in. So I'm so appreciative for these reviews. I'm going to read you guys a couple because I want to shout out the reviews. I am doing review shout outs, review giveaways even. And also, some of y'all follow me on social. If you don't follow me on social, go find me. I am Julia Graham Chapman. If you find me on Instagram, I'm Julia GC. If you type in Julia Keeps It Real on Google, you'll more than likely find my social. But I shared that I made it, out of literally almost 4 million podcasts in the world, I made it to number 78 in Great Britain. Okay? Not 1,000, not 1,000,000, number 78 top ranked podcast in Great Britain. So first of all, I'm out of the country. Okay. You know what I mean? People are listening to me out of the country. I feel famous. So thank you guys. If you're in Great Britain and you're listening in, I maybe should try to like get a better accent, right? So I could try to feel like I'm one of you. But maybe you listen because you're like, who is this girl? And we like her accent, we like her vibe. So I appreciate you guys for that. So keep sharing the podcast. I love it. Share the podcast. When you write a written review, not only does it like make my heart happy, but it helps with visibility. Okay. And it just helps make an impact. This is all free content and I love to share and help if I can and empower and inspire and give you strategies and tips for your business and your life. So the drop in the bucket, the favor back is literally just writing a review or sharing it with your friends and family and subscribing and listening in. So thank y'all for that. We are super close to a download goal as well. So make sure you're clicking that downloads and make sure those podcast episodes are actually downloading. All right. So from virtual victories, we have Julia does keep it real and knows how to do it professionally speaking, which is today's world. Many lack that aspect. I highly recommend following her and taking action with what she says. From our Alejandro, which is, she signed it off with Rosie Alejandro. She said, love it. I love the way Julia easily spreads her energy and positivity in this podcast. Great practical business tips. Thanks, Julia. So thank you guys for your recent reviews. I will share some more on the next episode. So today, we're going to just kind of quickly talk about word of the year. Y'all have probably heard people do this. I've been doing word of the year now for several years, actually. I have ditched New Year's resolutions, which I'm sure most of y'all have for a while. And when I heard about word of the year, probably 7-8 years ago, I was like, I like that concept. Like it's simple, just a focus to kind of drive out your year. But what I kind of want to give you the tip on that I think some people kind of forget about, like they're just like, okay, my word of the year is like, audacity, or my word of the year is freedom, or my word of the year is impact, or my word of the year is give, or whatever. And they just think about it for that one category. But what I want you to really think about is when you like claim something as your word of the year, it has to it doesn't have to. I shouldn't say has to. But a good idea is for you, first of all, to pray on it, especially if you are, like a kingdom woman and you want God to be with you in this year and to really make it to be an impactful year and to grow from it and for it to be fruitful and to be a blessing. That's what I would say. I first would just pick my word of the year, like on my own, like I'm claiming it, it's mine. And then I used to pray on it and I would just like let it marinate. Like I start in October thinking about my word of the year and just sitting on it and praying on it. And I'll reveal mine here in a minute. And so that's first, but teach their own, do what you want to do. But then kind of make sure, like, can you tie that word of the year in with your family, your finances, your friends, your faith, your job, like your fitness, like, can you tie that into all aspects of your life? And so when you say you want to do something with audacity, like, does that mean you're going to be more audacious in your conversations with your friends and family? Does that mean you're going to be audacious and step out in maybe a different job, like whole field, or maybe you're going to go for that promotion? Or does that mean you're going to be audacious in your faith walk and you're going to do something new and big? You're going to finally like start that podcast or write that book, or you know what I mean? Like, so don't just pick a word and then just use it for that one category. Like freedom. Okay, cool. Freedom from what? And how can that mean freedom in all aspects of your life? So I think that's something really important to think about whenever you pick a word of the year. Like try to see how you can impact that, or not impact that, how you can incorporate that, into all aspects of your life. So, I can't even remember all of mine, but I go all the way back to like, first I used to have just a mantra. So like choose love was my mantra. Like 7 years ago or whatever. And then happiness was a word of the year once before. And then I've done impact. I've done, oh goodness, I'm starting to forget all my words of the year. Abundance. I've done alignment. That was a good one. That was a good year. That was a year of definitely alignment. And I wanted alignment in my career. I wanted alignment, like relationships. I wanted alignment with friends. I wanted alignment with God. Like I wanted alignment in every, like even in my network marketing business, like I made so many shifts And I literally got into position, and it really kind of changed the trajectory of my years, the last 2 or 3 years after my word of the year alignment. So that's kind of cool just now thinking back to that. Last year was chosen. Did not want that word, did not pick that word. I was like, where did this word come from? Did not see this on the little word of the year chart, but I prayed on it, and all of a sudden I just felt like God's whisper to me was chosen. And honestly, I battled with that. And even last year, I thought there was times where that meant like, oh, maybe this is why, like, I'm actually like purposely chosen for this like job, or maybe I'm chosen for this moment or this event, or, there's so many times where I thought that that word of the year meant chosen, like, in the literal sense, but I think he wanted me to go deeper than that. So I really want y'all to pray on your word, and I really want you to like dive deep in your word and use it in every aspect of your life, because then you'll be able to see like, man, I really thought this word was going to take me here, but this word of the year is actually giving me a whole new revelation. And that's what happened last year. And I really like cried out to God. I was like, okay, I thought that this word of the year bit this, and I guess I'm wrong. I guess I heard you wrong. Like, I guess this isn't it. And lo and behold, like, no exaggeration, after like crying about it, I was like, okay, let me just go do my devotional. And I flipped my devotional open, and the Bible verse for that devotional of the day was the Bible verse that went with why I picked chosen, it's Peter, I can't remember, it's 1:9, but it's like, you are a chosen priesthood. You are his chosen people to call out, and to go out and be of good light. So, which I'm paraphrasing that. That's not exactly the Bible verse, how it is written, but I do know it does start with, you are a chosen, priesthood. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is confirmation. So I learned that, no, he's not saying I'm chosen literally for this like specific thing necessarily. He's saying, I'm choosing you to go out and be great. I'm choosing you to go out and shine your light. I'm using you to continue to learn and grow and be closer to me. And you are chosen, and you are worthy, and you don't have to perform. You don't have to do anything else. You are already chosen. And I had to live that out. Like, it took me literally like almost the whole year of 2022 to figure out that was it. Okay. So then here comes October, and I'm like, okay, like, and I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I get like a necklace with my word of the year, bracelets with my word of the year, shirts made, t-shirts, sweatshirts. That way, like when I'm putting my bracelets on in the morning or my necklace on, and when I'm walking, like people ask me like, oh, what does your shirt mean? Or, oh, like, what is that? Like, it just reminds me of it, and it just helps me live it out. So I take my word of the year really seriously. So I'm giving you some of these tips while I'm sharing my story. So tip number 1, pray about it. Tip number 2, get some gear, some swag to live it out. Actually, tip number 2 was use your word of the year in every aspect of your life. Tip number 3, get some gear and some swag to actively live out your word of the year, to like to make it come alive, to life. I meant, like, it's a word, but now like put the word out there, right? Put it on your calendar, put it on your wall, put it as your backdrop. You know what I mean? If you do vision boards, put it in the main center of your vision board. Okay. So, I'm like, okay, I need to start thinking my word of the year, and I'm praying, and I kind of hear like surrender, and I'm like, I don't really want to surrender. Like, I don't want that to be my word of the year. And I'm fighting it. And then I'm always like, when you try to fight things, that doesn't ever go well. But I also was just like, I just don't know if that's really like my word. So I just was like, I just don't know if I had the same whisper, And then I hear a sermon, and it has really nothing, the word meekness has nothing to do with this overall sermon, but like Pastor Todd at Transformation Church mentioned meekness one time in a sermon, and it just caught my attention. And what he was talking about, like, people like me that love control and don't surrender. And basically you need to just have more meekness in your life, where you basically, you have power, but your power is under God's control. And you think about people like Moses in the Bible that had meekness. And it's actually like, when you hear the word meek and meekness, you think of weakness. But when you look at it biblically, it actually has a lot of strength and power into it. And it actually falls in line with the fruit of the Spirit, which I spent a lot of time trying to embody this past year. And so that's when I heard God's whisper, when I heard meekness. I was like, okay, that's it. And I didn't really want to let go of surrender either. So I'm kind of tying them both together, because in order to be meek, you have to surrender. So that is my word, meekness, of the year. And then my like underlying word under that is surrender. So And then I was like, okay, okay, you guys, are y'all ready for this? How many of y'all do vision boards? Okay. I love a good vision board. I've had vision board parties for years. Okay. I love them. And I technically have a vision board up, but it's not my vision board. It's God's vision board. And for years, for the last couple of years, I would pray over my vision board and include God in my vision board. But this year I'm like, it's not even me. Like, I put pictures of me so that way I know like I'm in this thing, but there's no goal. There's no like, most of the time I have like an annual salary goal or like relationship goal, financial goal, family goal, travel goals. All those things like are on my vision board somewhere, like a visual of something. But I was like, nope, I'm surrendering. Like, if I'm going to surrender, I have got to give it, like, I've got to say, this is your plan. This is your, like, it's all up to you. Wherever I travel to, God, you're going to open those doors. It's going to be your plan. Whatever job I have, whatever network marketing, like, it's all in your plan. Whatever relationship status is looking like, it's in your plans. Like, family life and situation, it's in your plans. It's in your will. And so my board is literally just reminders of meekness in the Bible. So Bible quotes of that, surrender, Jesus take the wheel is on there. The Jabez prayer, which I've talked about that before in the podcast episode. You can scroll down if you want to hear about how that's a beautiful, powerful prayer to pray over your life every day. What else? I mean, it's January 1st. I haven't watched or looked at the board. I just put it together here recently. So, I mean, just little reminders of like Jesus is in control. Let him have it, So when I look at it every day in the bathroom, like, that's just my reminder, right? Because I like to try to control things when in reality, I can't control most things anyway. And when I do think I have control, I might be interfering or, you know what I mean? Like God has it. So I don't need to stress. I don't need to worry. And on top of that, I need to be obedient to what I feel like he's calling me to do. And I need to ask. Like, so many times I just want to put matters in my own hands, or I want to just go and do. How many of us are guilty of that, right? Like, we just want to go and do. We don't even ask for permission, right? Or we don't even say like, God, is this even in your will? Like, should I do these things? Should I go after this job? Should I go after this relationship? Should I actually file for this divorce? Should I actually move to that city? Like, sometimes we make moves without asking for permission. And I just want to be obedient. So I just think this is going to be a powerful year. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. And I wanted to talk about the word of the year to give you guys some hopefully inspiration and some practical ways that you can live it out with, again, having it visually different places. How can you apply it to different aspects of your life and making sure, like, go write it down in your journal, like write your word of the year and then say like, how can I apply that in my finances? How can I apply that with my family? How can I apply that with my friends? How can I apply that with my, relationship goals? How can I apply that in, my fitness? How can I apply that to, literally each aspect of your life? So I hope this was helpful. I'm so excited to be back. I needed this. I really did. I needed this today. So I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the love and the shares and the support. And keep the reviews coming. Season 3 is about to be fire. Stay tuned for what's in store. Y'all have no idea what I'm about to bring on. And plus what I even have in store for y'all. So stay tuned.